ESO.
Hey everybody, this is Nice.
This is Vex.
And this is
the Corrosive fleet build.
Alright, so y'all probably wondering how we did our ultimates that fast.
Yeah, this build lets you spam Dragonknight twice within seconds.
You can also leap somebody while you have Corrosive active. What this is going to do is let your leap ignore your enemy's physical resistances, which is freaking crazy, being able to use two ultimates that quick.
Without further ado, let's get into the builds.
Alright, so we pretty much have two variants of this build. One with a lot of group support.
And the one with a lot all-around general PvP experience.
And without further ado, let's get into the builds. Alright everybody, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the gear and how we're able to pull this off. So, the main basis of this build is the Eternal Warrior set, aka the Eternal Yokita set. So this is a trial set. 2 pieces add 4% healing taken, which is great. 3 piece has no real relevance for PvP. It's gonna give you minor Aegis. 4 piece is max health. We get an extra 5 piece bonus here for healing, more healing taken. 5 piece. When you take damage while below 25% health in combat, you heal for 26,000 health in game 97 ultimate. This effect can occur once every minute. So this is a really big heal, and even if the heal got nerfed or anything, that 97 ultimate is amazing. So if you look at Dragon Leap, it's a very cheap ultimate. It only costs 110 ultimate. So basically, while you have Corrosive pop, you can go on the offensive, and what's going to happen is, even if they get you low while you're in Corrosive, which makes you pretty tanky by the way, you're going to be able to get a leap. What this is going to allow you to do is have your leap, which has probably one of the highest single target ultimate tooltips in the game. Alright everybody, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the gear and how we're able to pull this off. So, the main basis of this build is the Eternal Warrior set, aka the Eternal Yokita set. So this is a trial set. 2 pieces add 4% healing taken, which is great. 3 piece has no real relevance for PvP. It's gonna give you minor Aegis. 4 piece is max health. We get an extra 5 piece bonus here for healing, more healing taken. 5 piece. When you take damage while below 25% health in combat, you heal for 26,000 health in game 97 ultimate. This effect can occur once every minute. So this is a really big heal, and even if the heal got nerfed or anything, that 97 ultimate is amazing. So if you look at Dragon Leap, it's a very cheap ultimate. It only costs 110 ultimate. So basically, while you have Corrosive pop, you can go on the offensive, and what's going to happen is, even if they get you low while you're in Corrosive, which makes you pretty tanky by the way, you're going to be able to get a leap. What this is going to allow you to do is have your leap, which has probably one of the highest single target ultimate tooltips in the game. It's going to allow that to ignore the enemy's physical resistance, which is really great. I've been using this set for like way over a year. Never wanted to release it, but figured it's time to go ahead and let this out. And we put this build together, and want to go ahead and give it to y'all. So yeah, that's the set. Next set, I'll let Vex explain and take over from here. It's the Malakath ban.
Alright, for Malakath, whenever you have it on, it does 25% more damage. You cannot do critical damage. For next patch, it will only be doing 16% damage, but you can't do 50%. You'll do 50% less crit damage. So it's kind of a nerf, but not really a nerf at the same time. It still will be really valuable next patch for dot builds, proc builds, all those type of builds for you. And we're gonna go into, I'm using Clever Alchemist. You get the 2 piece gives you max health, 3 piece max health, 4-piece, you get weapon damage and spell damage. 5-piece, when you drink a potion during your in combat, you feel a rush energy, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 651 for 20 seconds. And if you had the potion passives from the alchemist tree, it also helps out your potions. And if you wanted to, you could also run on your jewelry, maybe 1 or 2, reduce cooldown, but that's up to you for the potions. But I don't like doing that. I know other people that do it a lot, but you know. And also we use 1-piece battle org for a monster set, and helmet, clever alchemist. And the next set will be for the group build. Nice, go ahead and talk about that.
Alright, so as he said, Vex runs Clever Alchemist on the back bar. Like he said, you pop a potion, it's going to give you a lot of weapon and spell damage. That's going to be your default go-to set that you want to use on this build. The version with more support is going to be Powerful Assault back bar. So what this is going to have is a line of health, which is great, line of Stam, obviously great, and then damage. 5-piece. Let me go to my back bar. So the 5-piece, when you cast an assault ability, you and up to 5 group members within 10 meters of you gain 296 weapon and spell damage. This is a unique buff. It's not major courage, minor courage. It's its own buff. So basically, our assault ability is vigor. Whenever we cast our vigor, it's going to increase our teammates' weapon and spell damage. Really good group support. You're always casting vigor in combat. You really don't even got to time this out. You should be keeping your vigors up at all times. Passively, this is going to make Vex's heals or your group members' heals even better because it increases your weapon damage. Heals are based off weapon damage. So we got a sworn board of it on the back bar. And I'll kind of show the effect here. I don't think it has much of a visual effect, but let's look at my you gain 296 weapon and spell damage. This is a unique buff. It's not major courage, minor courage. It's its own buff. So basically, our assault ability is vigor. Whenever we cast our vigor, it's going to increase our teammates' weapon and spell damage. Really good group support. You're always casting vigor in combat. You really don't even got to time this out. You should be keeping your vigors up at all times. Passively, this is going to make Vex's heals or your group members' heals even better because it increases your weapon damage. Heals are based off weapon damage. So we got a sworn board of it on the back bar. And I'll kind of show the effect here. I don't think it has much of a visual effect, but let's look at my damage outside of a powerful assault. So with major and minor brutality, I'm at 4289. I'm going to hit my powerful assault here. So now we're at 4692, and Vex, I'm sure, is showing how his tooltip increased from it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. So you can run Powerful Assault for support, or you can just run Clever Alchemist, which is probably more best in slot. So I'll let Vex talk about our front bar now.
Alright, our front bar set, we use Vacheron's Perfected Maul. I'm using Sharpened, which is the best you could use. Also have Weapon Damage Enchantment on front bar for more weapon damage, for more damage, of course. For the 2-piece, you get 877 stamina. Another 2-piece, I guess. While Momentum is active, casting stamina abilities while in combat generate a stack of Frenzied Momentum for 20 seconds. Increase weapon damage by 28 up to 38, up to 5 stacks upon reaching max stat. Your next heavy attack or medium attack will consume all stacks and release a violent explosion energy around you, dealing 10,000 physical damage to all enemies within 8 meters. Now this is
it's a really good set. You definitely want Sharpen. I have this nerd for some reason, but you definitely want to Sharpen Maul. That's gonna give you your best damage. 2H got to change that Maul's at a flat penetration value, so it's really good. Definitely want to go Sharpen Maul. Important note about the Vatistran proc, like that 10,000 right there is going to be a little different. All proc damage is going to scale based off your weapon and spell damage next patch. Some sets going to scale off max health, some off resistance, etc. But your damage and proc sets are going to scale off your damage. The cap is approximately around 6,400 weapon or spell damage. On this build, this is literally the only proc we're going to use, and once you got your Vashran stacks up, and once you got your powerful assault up or your clever alchemist, you're gonna pretty much be getting the same damage, especially with the new CP changes. So I wouldn't even worry about that. You're pretty much gonna have around your same tooltip, to be honest. Stam, fortunately, doesn't really suffer from the that change to procs next patch. So yeah. I'll go ahead and finish out the my gear. So like I said, powerful assault on the back bar. Keep in mind I don't have everything properly transmuted. You probably want to go defending or sharpen on your one-hander here. Shield is probably good to stay reinforced with the Stam glyph. Feel free to go sturdy. We both obviously do the berserker glyph on the front bar. Do poisons on your back bar. Double dots are really good. DK does have a passive that when you apply the poison status effect, you get Stam back. So whenever you weave a heavy on your back bar, feel free to get that. You could also go with a bow if you prefer, but Sword and Board being tanky, helping you be a little bit more tanky on the back bar is great. So Yokita's a heavy armor set. I was able to do a heavy head here. Definitely want to get triglyphs on the big pieces. I'm doing one piece blood spawn for a little bit more recovery. Vex is doing one piece Balorg. So feel free to go either or, depending on how you set your CP and your race passives and everything like that. And that's pretty much the build. Definitely want everything in pin. I still got some transmuting to do, as you see. And yeah. Let's get into the skills.
We're using Corrosive Armor on the ultimate for back bar. Then we're using Resolving Vigor, Fragmented Shield, Hardened Armor. I would actually use Volatile Armor, but I forgot to switch. You can use either one if you want. Just depends on however you feel you like better. I got Blood Craze, Venomous Claw. Definitely the best dot on the dot DK, or DK in general, the best ability you'll have for damage. Yeah, Take Flight, Cauterize, Executioner, Rally, Noxious Breath, another great dot, but also applies Major Fracture, so 6,000 reduced damage, or, well, 6,000 more damage to them, but it reduces their physical resistance and spell. And then Fossilize, and that's the skills, and yeah.
Alright, and on my variation, I have a Corrosive on the back bar as well. Good defensive ultimate, like I said, limits incoming damage to 3%. I got Protective Plate here. This is going to be your snare immunity. You need snare immunity open world. It's also going to have the added benefit of reducing projectile damage to you by 50% for 6 seconds, which is great. Feel free to put Race Against Time here. Vigor, that's our heal, obviously. It's also going to proc our Powerful Assault. Fragmented Shield, this is going to give us 6 seconds of Major Mending, which is really awesome. This is also going to proc Minor Brutality for you and your group, which is additional weapon damage. Minor Brutality is a very unique, well, rare buff that DK has easy access to, so definitely want to cast that. I think it lasts 20 seconds, which is great. Dragon's Blood, it's going to heal you based off your missing health, like Vex said. Volatile Armor can be our Major Resolve. Venomous Claw, like Vex said, best dot in the game. Noxious Breath, I mean, an AoE source of Major Fracture, that's also a dot. It can proc poison status effect on everyone. What more can I say? Rally, it's going to give us our source of minor endurance, as Dragon's Blood gives us our source of major endurance without having to use a potion, which is great. So good recovery on the build, obviously. We're using Dizzy on this version of the build. I know Vex isn't using Dizzy. Kind of go back and forth. And then we got Executioner. This is going to be our Execute, obviously. Definitely, pretty much after you hit someone with a Take Flight and they're CC'd, you get a free Execute before, you get an Execute off before they even CC break, so it's really good. Vex is doing more of the straight up dot DK version, whereas I'm doing kind of a Dizzy. You know, got the 2 dots there, but definitely your standard Dizzy build. I go back and forth between the two. I even got a variation to where instead of Vatishran front bar, you can do a Powerful Assault 2H. Do I got one on me? Yeah. Do Powerful Assault 2H on the back bar. Probably go Masters Dual Wield on the front bar. Something like that. You could feel free to switch it up. But yeah, that's the skills we're running. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into CP Vex. Um, uh, the most important tree is the green tree. Just kidding. We'll go ahead and get into the blue tree.
Alright,
I'll let Vex go over the slottables here in the blue
alright.
tree.
So, blue slottables, we got Deadly Aim, we got Thaumaturge. Well, Deadly Aim, it gives you 10% more damage to your single target abilities, which also, I'm pretty sure that counts as dots as well, because it's on the player, or the initial hit also of your dots. So if you hit them with the dot, your first initial hit will count as for Deadly Aim. Thaumaturge, over time damage, so it'll increase your dot damage, blah blah blah. Uppercut, it will also increase with Deadly Aim. Resilience, we get extra critical resilience to make us, take less crit damage from other players, which will help us survive longer.
This man said extra critical resilience. Y'all make sure y'all roast him in the comments. But go ahead.
Alright, you know what, you know what, I thought I said crit resistance, okay, I guess not. I thought I
Critical
did.
resilience, best in slot.
Yeah, critical resilience. Alright, so next we got Duelist Rebuff, which reduces our damage taken by 10% if you have all 50 points in it. From single target abilities. So basically like Deadly Aim, you have that in. It helps reduce the damage from other players. So it's really good to have. Yeah, that's the blue
Nice.
tree.
And Vex, I think are you running poisons on the back bar on your dual wield bar?
I am, yes.
Nice. All right. So everything else is just a matter of how much CP you have. Obviously, take everything that's not a slottable. Your healing done. Healing taken. Just make do with the points you have. I think the obvious priority is to get the free max stam, the free crit, and then in this tree, the extended might tree, get the free penetration. You got free damage here, and then status effect chance. This is very underrated on a DK because it gives you a 60% more increased chance to get poison on people, which is actually going to provide you with some stam sustain. So that's good because of the combustion passive. I'll go over the red tree, the fitness tree. So our slottables here vary. Red CP is purely up to you. It has nothing to do with the build. It's literally all preference here. I will say I don't think Juggernaut's negotiable. I think most people run Juggernaut on a build. While CC immune, you get 10% less damage reduction. That's amazing. I think CC immunity lasts about 7 seconds or so. So I definitely feel Juggernaut is needed for sure. I chose Rejuvenation. Definitely want to get a little bit more recovery. The Yokita set doesn't give us any max stam, any recovery, so kind of get a little bit more here. Definitely a good CP slottable. Balanced Vitality. I took this one for a little bit more health pool. Let me put more attributes into my stam, so I like that one. Slippery, this is a personal preference. I love this passive. I just love Slippery. It's free sustain, like I said, CC cooldown about 7 seconds or so. This has a 21-second cooldown. So assuming someone's literally CCing you as soon as you can be CC'd, every third one is free. Break free typically averages a cost around 3,000 to a little bit over 4,000. So you factor that into your stamp sustain, it's actually very underrated. Also, you will CC break things quicker than you would manually. I'm talking like leaps and everything, like you're already back on the offensive. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it lets you get back on the offense, I would say probably zero point 0.5 seconds quicker than if you manually CC broke. But yeah, and other than that, like I said in the previous tree, just take your non-slottables as much as you can get. I think the block cost mitigation is a good one to go for, your roll dodge one. But I think the priority one is this one, this free max health you get here. Make sure you definitely snatch that up and then go to the others as you see fit. And that's the build. Thank you for coming through. This is definitely going to be broken, but we had to release it.
I would like to point out one of my mistakes that I did when I was doing my CP. Apparently, this entire time I've been Xing and fighting people in Cyrodiil, I had points in the Magicka when I had no points in a Stam, so I went ahead and fixed that. Now we have all points in. So my last build video I did on my DK, I had points in the Magicka. So yeah, but now we got points in the Stam. All right, we're good now. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through. This was the Corrosive Leap build. Peace. Damn it.
Come to the side. Oh.
Oh!
Should this go to fucking bloopers?